Today I want to talk about resilience. Quite a lot of our time in corporate leadership team, we talk about how organisation needs to be resilient to the pressure and the stress that everything from how the great city operates to are we managing to operate within our budget causes. But actually, it's really important, I think, that you start from your own personal resilience. And I've got a number of tactics that I use that I thought it might be worth sharing. And that doesn't mean that everyone has the same tactics or everyone should do the same thing, but it's about, hopefully, lets you think about what you might want to do for yourself. So if I start with kind of concept that wellness begins at home, I try and make sure that that when I'm home, that we do lots of activities that lead us to that are healthy activities. So not too much television, not too much stress, not too much time just sitting doing nothing, but actually being out and active. And that's just from walking the dog to making sure that we don't have any phones over dinner, and all those things that other families of course do, but allow you to distract yourself and make sure that you're thinking about how your family is and how you are in the first place. The second one is about just thinking about your nutrition. I think quite a number of you will have noticed that I'm slightly more bijou than I was in the past. And that was about me sitting down and thinking about why am I tired and stressed, etc. And a good part of that was the fact that I was far too overweight and that I wasn't healthy. So I've spent quite a lot of my time thinking about what I'm going to eat for the week, as well as how I'm going to keep myself with enough energy through eating so that I can handle the stress that comes from being the chief executive of the council and all the day-to-day stresses that come along by making sure that I'm well fed and that I'm using the right nutrition. So that's everything from drinking lots of water so that I'm hydrated, and that's made a big difference. It means you've got energy all the way through the day, to just not snacking too much in between meals, but eating proper meals all the way through the day. And I think, as most of you do, doing a bit of intermittent fasting along the way, which is what I've done. I'm not saying everybody should do that, but actually that's worked for me. The other thing is about just taking time for yourself. And that's both at home and at work. So I try and find some time in my day where I can just sit and be alone and think. And some people would call that mindfulness, some people would call it just planning, but actually it's sometimes just about sitting, not thinking about any particular topic, but just having time for yourself. And actually my family know that I actually also like to have some time for myself at home, where nobody is actually talking to me or worrying me or doing anything with me at all, just to allow me time to think. The other thing is really about being fit and healthy. Regular checkups to the doctor, regular checkups to the dentist, making sure that you're keeping fit and healthy. I try and exercise at least 4 times a week, but probably no more than that, because that's one of the ways in which I manage my energy. So I have to have enough energy for work, so training too hard is not a good thing either. But actually, I try and make sure that I'm fit and healthy. One of the key things I've always done, and I think one of the most successful things both my wife and I do, is I plan my life and my work together. I sit down every Sunday night with my wife and we plan the week, and that's what we're all doing for the week, and what I'm doing at work. And we try and make sure that both those things fit together. It makes everybody less stressed about what's going on, and actually allows us to be a little bit more resilient about when we've got busy weeks, because we're well organised and we organise both those aspects of your life together. The other thing is just not to overplan. Don't over-diarise everything. If you don't leave a space in your day, there is no doubt that you will not achieve everything you put in your diary. If you fill your diary with all day with meetings or tasks to do, you will never achieve every single one of them. You've got to leave a small percentage where you allow things just to happen. And I do a kind of double prioritization to-do list. So I prioritise what I'm going to do for the day, the 5 things I want to achieve in the day, and when I've done number 1 on that list, I reprioritise it. And sometimes things have happened during the day that would go to the top of that list. And it's allowing yourself the freedom to do so as you go forward. The other thing is to think about when you're best. So in my case, I'm best about 5, 6, 7 o'clock-ish. Always have done all my life. I have more energy then, my mind is better, and I try and make sure I do the most important tasks at that time. So usually thinking, in my case, and usually strategic thinking goes on at that point in the day because that's the point when I'm most alert. And then one of the last things to think about is just find a way in which you can shut off from any problems or any stresses you have. And I learned an awful lot from my career as an athlete about how to handle stress immediately, and have a number of things I think through mentally that allow me literally to take a problem, put it in a box, put it on a shelf, and then leave it on the shelf until I want to go back to it. And I find that's the way I can both shut off and do things properly. And the last thing, the very last thing, is that it's always a good thing to think about others, because you stop being thinking about how stressed you are and how you are, if you're talking about how others are feeling, how they're coping, and helping others is always a really good thing, but also taking help from others. So I have somebody who I go to who I guess you would call my mentor, but is actually just a friend who I think tells me what's real in life. And try and find a colleague or a friend who you're able to talk to about anything, and that will allow you to deal with the stresses in life more effectively. I hope that's been a help. It's just some of the things that I do to help me get through the day and get through the weeks and get through the months and everything at work and life, and I hope it's helped you too. Thank you.